is. What is that leadership to you? What does that mean?
Sure. Well, a little bit more behind the story too. So this morning I'm reading through the question again, and I just thought I'd just throw it out there to my wife. I didn't tell her any context about it. I just said, I got to do this today. We're going to be talking about this in our session. What leader inspired or influenced you or anything the most? And it was funny. She didn't even hesitate. And she goes, Hurricane Hazel. Oh, wow. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so like the whole thing, there's a lot of things that watching Hazel McCallion as I grew up and stuff like that are leadership qualities that I really respect and I try to, put into my life today. Like one thing, she was always out in the community. Like you just said, Deb, she was at, every major hockey game, I think, in Mississauga. And I think even she was huge in the OWHA, in the Ontario women's hockey. So any major game with that, she helped in the development of women's hockey and that sort of thing. And she got out into the community a lot. So there's the whole thing there about, getting out and getting to know everybody. People got to know her, she got to know them. So, getting that whole concept of know, like, and trust. So everybody got to know her. Everybody, I'm sure there's people that don't like Hazel McCallion, but I think it's really hard to find people that don't, there are very few that don't like Hazel. It's probably a huge number. The number's huge. How many elections was it just no contest? She was picked and nobody wanted to run against her.
How many years was she mayor of Mississauga? Does anybody know?
Wow, up until just a couple of years ago. And I think she started in the 70s.
1978 until 2014.
Yeah.
36 years.
Yeah. And I would say the last 15 anyways, there was no contest. People didn't even run against her. So that whole concept, know, like, and trust, I think, obviously from what was accomplished in Mississauga, she was able to build a great team. And the whole concept, I guess, that we were talking about last night of if the team's down, you're down. Like she always kept the team up, I felt anyways. And it was able to build Mississauga into a place that you can go to a lot of places. And when you mention Mississauga, there's a lot of respect behind that. Whether you're 20 years old or 70 years old, if you're coming from Mississauga. So she's built a huge thing like that. And that's, I guess, the thing, I guess building your brand, building that reputation and respect, that's another thing that is important, I feel, for me, for leadership. So I think she had a lot of good things that way. And I guess one of the other things, she was tough. You didn't mess around with Hazel. So there was a good thing, like, not that she was going to go out and be tough and physical or anything, but she was firm in her way. She knew she had her vision in sight, and she was able to go in and bring everybody along with her to achieve that sort of thing. So that's stuff that I try to use as many of those things as I can. And it's the more I think about it, the more I think she's had a very huge positive impact on my life, definitely.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and she was a small woman. It's not like she was a.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big guy myself, so I do have a kindred spirit in her.